Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news both equity and bond markets are displaying some nerves ahead of tomorrow's US Fed rate and policy decisions. But first, there was another dairy auction overnight, and a good gain was achieved, even if not as strong as some market forecasters expected. Overall prices are up 4.6% in US dollar terms, on top of the prior event's 2.7%. In New Zealand dollar terms, the increase was a lesser 3.7%. Whole milk powder rose 4.6% from the last event, skim milk powder was up 5.4%, and butter was up 3.8%. But cheddar cheese fell 1.7%. These are positive signals and momentum going into tomorrow's Fonterra results announcements. But we need to keep in mind that even after these rises, overall prices are still 24% lower than a year ago, and recent rises only take them back to early August levels. This event is a positive sign, but it'll hardly move the needle on milk payout forecasts. In the US, residential building consents rose rather sharply in August, but housing starts fell sharply, and it is the falling housing starts data that's getting all the headlines. US retail sales at bricks and mortar stores on a same-store basis were up 3.6% last week from a year ago, good but really only enough to keep pace with inflation. Meanwhile, Canadian CPI inflation rose 4% in August from 3.3% in July, overshooting market expectations of a rise of 3.8%. Rents and petrol are getting the blame. Their central bank has said inflation at these levels is inconsistent with their targets, and that will raise expectations for more monetary policy hikes there. In China, there's a massive exit underway by investors. Official data shows holdings by foreigners of Chinese equities and bonds has now fallen by more than $330 billion from the peak in December 2021 until August this year, when $20 billion left in that month alone. Those with direct on-the-ground investments in China are growing less optimistic too. The OECD is out with updated global growth forecasts. It sees global GDP growth at 3% this year versus 2.7% at its last review in June and 2.7% in 2024. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today up 3 basis points at 4.35%, and we make that a 15-year high since the end of 2007. And the price of gold will start today at just on $1,930 an ounce and down $3 from yesterday, but oil prices are up 50 US cents. And they're now at $90.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is at $93.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today still in its recent yo-yo range and up by 10 basis points from this time yesterday up to 59.3 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're holding at 91.9 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're marginally firmer at 55.5 euro cents. That all means our trade weight index is up about 10 basis points at 68.8. Get more news about the New Zealand economy from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.